Hello again, everybody. This is Dan Clouser, and welcome back to the Journey of My Mother's Son podcast. Here I am again with my wife, Sandy, and we are on day three of our new journey. The journey has actually begun. We first started talking about this, recorded my first episode of this podcast back in late January. And then we had this little thing called COVID-19 that came in and halted the world for a few months and took our house off the market and put it back on and sold it. And finally, this past Monday, August 24th, we pulled out of Berks County and started our journey. Kind of anyway. We got to our daughter's house in Perry County for one night and then hit the road from there. So, honey, how you enjoying full-time RV? You can hear Uke panting in the background. He's enjoying it big time. So
I'm enjoying it very, very well. We need to. I know we're doing the Parkway, the Shenandoah, the Blue Ridge Parkway, and we're going to the Smoky Mountains, right?
Yes, we are. We'll end up in the Smoky Mountains after we get off the Blue Ridge Parkway.
And
we're just rolling. I'm not going to edit this out, so you're going to have to deal
really?
with it.
Okay.
Really?
I'll deal with it. I know. Right now we're sitting in the parking lot of Mabry Mill.
We just had breakfast.
We just had breakfast. We actually had a late lunch dinner last night.
It was definitely
here.
Dinner. It was 4 o'clock.
And we backtracked. And I'll tell you, if you ever get on the Blue Route, you do need to...
Blue Ridge, honey.
Blue Ridge, I'm sorry. I'm getting confused with back home. I think it is post...
176.
176. You do have to stop and eat here. It is amazing. It's not nothing fancy.
Yeah, so just to tell you how great this place is, like Sandy said, we had dinner here last night. Our plan was lunch, but we had a detour off the parkway that got us mixed up in Roanoke a little bit. So we didn't get down here till 4 o'clock, and we had dinner, and then our whole plan was to come back and have lunch. So our campground that we were at last night, Fancy Gap Campground in Fancy Gap, Virginia, was 25 miles south of here, and we're heading to Asheville once we pull out of the parking lot here. So we literally drove 25 miles north to head back down to Asheville after breakfast today. That's how good the food is, that we were willing to basically add 50 miles to our trip today to come back up here. But you know, the beauty of what we're doing and the lifestyle that we're living is that we can do that. We can add 50 miles to the trip and it's okay. And when we're done with the podcast, we're not going to leave right away. We're going to take Uke around, let him walk around the grounds here a little bit. It's, like I said, it's beautiful. My wife and I, the first time we came up here was last October on our way back from seeing the U.S. Women's National Team play South Korea in Charlotte, North Carolina. And honey, I would think that's actually when you probably really got sold on this idea of what we were going to do. You're still, I think, you'd agreed to it, but I think you're still a little not so sure of yourself.
Right.
And the 7 hours that we took on the Blue Ridge Parkway last October in the fall, I think, is really what made you kind of dive in with both feet at that point. Is that accurate?
Yes, I would say that. And actually, all the places which only 2 places that we stayed overnight have been great. First night was a KOA. The second night was Fancy Gap, which it was a private, and it was just beautiful, quiet.
Beautiful sunset last night. Beautiful sunrise this morning. We left early to get up here so we can get back on the road and heading down to Asheville. We got in late to the KOA in Lynchburg. So our first, official night in a campground, we were setting up in the dark and there was a storm on the horizon. So that was fun, but a learning experience nonetheless. I mean, and that's the thing. I don't know that people really understand that Tuesday night when we stayed at that Lynchburg KOA, it was the first time myself and Sandy and Uke had actually stayed in a campground. So it's not like we have been camping for years and we decided we were going to do this. After years and years of going to campgrounds and driving an RV and stuff like that, we were completely green going into this adventure, and we're learning things every day, just taking it in stride. Eucalyptus, we were talking this morning, honey, that this is really his first time out of Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And he's 11 years old, and he is absolutely loving it. Every time we get out, it's just sniff, 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 sniff. He's right up there in the cab with us. Doesn't want to miss a beat. He has a little vent that he sticks his nose at, and then every once in a while we get a nice little sneeze in the vent and
wear it.
slobber all over us, but it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. He's enjoying it. He has very little time that he wants to lay down. He's always sitting or standing right next to us, which I know at his age his legs probably get tired, but he sleeps through the night sound as sound could be.
Yeah, he's definitely sleeping through the night.
So are we, I think, too.
Yeah.
As far as our day today, we are, I believe, we're going to go back on the Blue Ridge Parkway, and we are going to, this is one of my things I can't wait to see it and get out, is the highest point on the parkway, which is 6,053 foot up. So and that's at mile marker 430. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think that'll actually be after we leave Asheville, though.
Actually, and I hope it's not hazy. When you're up that high, it gets so hazy, and it's not a clear picture day then. But yeah, I'm anxious. I'm excited. I know another goal I had on this trip, probably we'll see it when we go north. I want to see a bear and baby cubs if possible.
Yeah, she's more anxious about that than I am.
I mean, of course,
honestly,
driving.
I don't really want to see a bear or baby cubs unless they're in a zoo.
No.
With you.
Many years ago, we did see we saw a moose when we went up to Vermont, which was awesome too. It was right on the side of the road when we were driving.
I'll deal with a moose.
Yeah, but
I've
they
never
can
read
be
about
just
a
as
moose. Never read about a
nasty.
moose eating us.
No. And like I said, it can be when we're driving. If it's ahead and we're slowed down and have to stop, that would be so neat. So,
Preferably.
yeah.
Preferably.
We had actually this morning, Dan pumped gas this morning, and you said there was a biggest grasshopper on the side of the RV. And I'm trying to teach him his insects and everything. And when he took a picture and showed it to me, I said, honey, that's a praying mantis, and that praying mantis usually means good luck. So hopefully that is what we have.
Praying mantis, grasshopper, what's the difference,
Well, they're big. No, that was that. I mean, he was on our ride when we started for probably at least a mile or two.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I know the next campground that we're heading to in Asheville. We're actually going to be there for 2 nights, which will be a nice kind of relief because we've been setting up, breaking down.
It's
So
hard.
it'll be
It's exhausting.
nice to spend a couple days. Once we're off the parkway, I'm not sure exactly what direction we'll go. We'll probably end up in Tennessee for a little bit through the Smoky Mountains.
Knowing this storm is coming through.
Yeah, there's a storm coming up, so we're
hurricane.
definitely praying for our friends in Louisiana, Lori and Jenny, who are looking like they're right in the path. They're in the Lake Charles, Sulphur area, so I was texting back and forth with Lori and Jenny the past couple days, telling them that we're praying for them. And so hopefully you guys can join us in praying for them and keep them safe and keep everybody in that area safe for sure. As a young kid, I went through Hurricane David. It's not an enjoyable experience at all. So, but we are definitely looking forward to the rest of this journey. We'll be back up in Sullivan County, Pennsylvania for Labor Day weekend to spend some time with our family. And other than that, we're enjoying this life. So, anything else you got, honey, before we sign off on this one?
No.
All right, folks. So, as always, be sure to check out my other blogs and podcasts at danclouser.com. And enjoy the journey.
Peace out.
Thank you.